सबसे पहले इस वीडियो को लाइक करें और मजीद वीडियोस के लिए हमारा YouTube चैनल सब्सक्राइब करें और बेल आइकन पर क्लिक करें।
आप देख रहे हैं अवाम के उठाए गए सवालात, हालत आजरा पर तबसरों, तज्जियों, खबरों पर मुहित प्रोग्राम न्यूज लाइन रिदा सैफी के साथ।
अस्सलाम वालेकुम, मैं हूँ रिदा सैफी। चीन इस वक्त दुनिया का सबसे बड़ा मुल्क है जिसकी मईशत सबसे ज्यादा तरक्की कर रही है। यही वजह है कि इस मुल्क की तैयार करदा अशिया दुनिया भर में मौजूद भी हैं और इससे लगता है कि सुपर पावर मुल्क जैसा अमेरिका भी मरूब हो चुका है चीन से। चीन पर मुख्तलिफ पाबंदियां भी लगाई गई हैं उसकी जानिब से, खुसूसन एशियाई मुल्कों में अगर चीन के बड़े मंसूबों पर इसकी गहरी नजर भी है और वो इन मंसूबों में नित नई रुकावटें डालकर चीन में एक जो है वो मंसूबों को नाकाम बनाने की कोशिश भी कर रहा है। इन हालात के दौरान ही चीन में एक ऐसी बीमारी कोरोना वायरस ने सर उठाया है जो न सिर्फ चीन पर असरअंदाज हुई बल्कि इस मर्ज ने दुनिया को भी हिलाकर रख दिया। कई मुल्कों की जो मईशत है, बड़े मुल्कों की, वो हिलकर रह गई हैं। स्टॉक मार्केट इससे बड़ी बड़ी क्रैश कर गई है दुनिया की और इस वक्त जो सूरत हाल है वो थोड़ी बहुत तशवीशनाक भी है। लेकिन इसके साथ साथ ये भी हैरानकुन बात है कि चीन ने 48 घंटों के अंदर अंदर एक ऐसा अस्पताल भी बनाया जहां कोरोना वायरस के लिए उसने ट्रीटमेंट भी स्टार्ट करी और ना सिर्फ ये काम किया बल्कि अपने साथ साथ दूसरे ममालिक की भी मदद कर रहा है इस वायरस से निपटने के लिए भी और खासतौर पे इस वायरस के पेश नजर अहम इकदाम उठाने के लिए भी। इन हालात में आज K21 न्यूज ने कराची में चीनी कौंसल जनरल ली बाईजान से मुलाकात करने और उनका जो है वो चीन और दुनिया के इसी हवाले से अहम इशू पर तफसीली और सैर हासिल गुफ्तगू करने के लिए वक्त लिया और उनके हम शुक्रगुजार हैं कि उन्होंने हमें वक्त दिया और आज हम यहाँ बैठे उनके साथ। इस वक्त चीन के कौंसल जनरल ली बाईजान हमारे साथ मौजूद हैं। उनका तारुफ कराते हैं और बाकायदा जो है वो इंटरव्यू का आगाज करते हैं। Thank you so very much, Li Baijan, Excellency, for joining us.
Thank you very much.
We are really honored that you have given us time. We know it that you are pretty much busy. You have different commitments these days, but despite this, you spare some time for us for talking to K21 News. For me, thank you so very much for this. I would like to ask you first of all the major question, and let's start from coronavirus because this is something which people want to know, get to know, because there are so many rumors, wrong perceptions, misunderstandings which has been done. So I think we should have to clear the people who are watching us. So first of all, tell me that coronavirus has become now the global issue. How much time the government of China required to overcome and fight from the global problem started from China?
Thank you. Coronavirus is a global issue right now, and the first case occurred in China, but now the source of this virus has yet found, and where does it originated? Nobody knows, because that some cases happen in U.S., Japan, and even Iran. This confirmed patients they have never contacted with anyone from China. And some of them have never traveled out from the villages, from the city. So the experts and scientists now are still wondering, where does this virus come from? So that is the big question before these experts. And ever since the outbreak of this virus, my government and people under the leadership of our President Xi Jinping, and we have been taking the strong, comprehensive, decisive measures to control and prevent this virus. And you see that from the medical and health point of view, and this virus is preventable, controllable, and treatable. And people should not be panic. And ever since from the beginning that my government has been taking a position, an attitude of open, transparent, and responsible. And actually, the people in the epicenter of this virus in Wuhan has made huge sacrifice. Because you see, in order to, before we cannot find a vaccine or cure or medicine to kill this virus, the most effective way is to isolate the people from those people who have contracted this virus. So we have take decisive measures and the responsible measures to shut down the Wuhan city and the neighboring cities. And the result, after this is more than 1 month, and the situation now is much better in China. And I will tell you that you see today, the newly contracted cases, just the single digit, come down to single digit, and the death numbers has reduced to 40 from from more than 200. Now it's down to 40, and the numbers cured and released from hospital outnumbered those people has been confirmed the contraction of the virus. And the problem, you see the situation in China now that Wuhan is still the epicenter, and yesterday the newly confirmed cases is around 240, and 237 are from Wuhan, and remaining just 3 or 4 from the rest of China. So we can see that with this strong and effective measures, that the virus has been controlled across China. Yeah. Okay. And another figure is that you see the virus now is spreading across the world, and the newly cases in other countries are 9 times higher than that in China.
Okay, Excellency. We have heard so many conspiracies, and the one of the conspiracy is the Western media quoted this virus has been used against China as biological weapon. What do you think? Is it true?
I think this is not confirmed, and as I mentioned just now at the beginning, that the scientists across the world under leadership of WHO.
Because it really hits your economy.
Yes, of course, are trying hard to find the original resource, the original source of this virus. And you see, the first case found in Wuhan, but that doesn't mean that it is originated from Wuhan, and it could come from other places. So the scientists are still looking for the real origination of this virus. So I think there are so many allegations, so many rumors, and let's give this question to the scientists. Today's world that we should trust the scientific ways of identify the source of this virus. People are wise enough, and we are powerful enough for human beings to find the true source of this virus.
Okay, there is one more very interesting kind of conspiracy. Maybe you went through with it as well, because now the social media, these days is very common. Every child and youngster, or the people are having the phones and they are using social media very oftenly and commonly. We had seen one thing and one conspiracy more on social media, especially that there was a book with the name of Newt Dean. Writer is the Newt Dean, and the book with the name of The Eyes of the Darkness, which has already predicted 30 years back that this type of virus will come in 2020, and this will give this type of destruction and this kind of thing. So many people will get affected with it, and that and that. So 30 years before this prediction has been done, what do you say about this?
Actually through the long history of human beings, we have been facing a lot of natural disasters and these plagues, and you see.
Do you believe on these type of predictions?
I don't believe so. I don't believe it. And what happens to the human world, and there are so many things are unknown, and we should use scientific ways to find the results, and do not go after this hearsay and guesses, or this is not scientific.
Okay.
And of course, I believe that human beings through the history, we are fighting this virus, the plagues, the natural disasters, but we come to today, and we live better and better, and live stronger and stronger. So I believe that with joint efforts by all human beings on this planet, we can eventually to find, the solutions, the vaccines to deal with any virus by a scientific way.
Okay. Okay, Excellency, as of course, this time we are seeing that the China is suffering economically, unfortunately, due to this panic of coronavirus. So what China has planned how to settle the economy that has been shattered now badly?
Actually, you see that with my assessment, and of course, some economists and experts in China, they also write a lot of articles concerning about the effect of this virus on China's economy and the world economy. And generally speaking, there are three areas. One is that you see manufacture. Manufacturing sector will be affected heavily. And the second sector is service sector, because you see China and the whole world now are based on tourism and this logistics support and everything. So this could be affected. And the third is foreign trade. Foreign trade, because this supply, the productions, because of shortage of manpower, some of the production line has to be stopped. So that actually will affect the supply chain of the whole world. So majorly there are three aspects of the effects on the China's economy and the world economy. Because China's economy now is the second largest economy in the world, and China's contribution to the world economy is over 30% annually. So that is a huge. If China's economy got some effect, that for sure it will affect the whole world economy. And now you see, Chinese government and people are facing two very heavy tasks. On one hand,
and what are they?
On one hand, that we have to find the best way to control and prevent the virus. But at the same time, we have to resume the productions, because China is the factory of the world. And so we have to restart and resume the productions. So, my government under the leadership of our President Xi Jinping, and we already started. As I introduced, that you see, almost, besides Wuhan, outside Wuhan, the whole China now, the virus is under control. So now we are, we have more room, more space to do more in resuming productions. So now we are doing two fronts, and it shows that the situation is very good and very effective. And up to now, that in the coast region, that especially the industry belts of China, that's in Guangdong, in Shanghai and Tianjin, this area, this region, almost 70% of the factories are resumed production. And so, of course, the government is trying hard to provide a lot of stimulus to encourage the companies, the enterprises to start their business. Number one is that to call upon all the laborers to return to their work unit. Because we have to have the manpower. And secondly, in order to start their business, because most of these service and production sectors have been suffering, so they need money. They need the money to start it. So the government has been providing tax rebates and reduce the financial burdens for the industries and enterprises. So I think that with this stimulus plans in place, and the companies and enterprises will have a better environment to do their business. So I think the result will be good.
Okay, one thing more, Excellency. This is, we really understand about the damaging of suffering of economy, as we have discussed, and you have told all the things very categorically and clearly. One thing more, which is we are actually reading these days, that is that due to the stop of this production in China, the global think tankers who are working globally on environment, basically, they actually wrote and they said that 35% of the pollution has got reduced in the whole world due to the stop of this production. So, do you also thinking on this point as well, that if you will resume this production, then the think tankers of China will sort out, or will drive something good for the pollution as well, or will take some measures for this controlling of environment pollution?
Yes, this is a very interesting question. Because you see, because of the suspension of the production lines across China, and of course, you see some of the emissions has reduced, and because you don't have much activities, because almost all the people are stay at home, and no job have been carried out. So, but when this resumption of production starts, and I believe that you see the pollutions will come again. That's the reality. But in China, few years back, China signed the Paris climate treaty.
Yes.
Climate treaty. China is the one of the biggest pusher for this
signatory
treaty.
of that treaty.
Yeah, for this treaty. And we actually, it is the only country that China, has contributed to the biggest share of the progress of this treaty. And the whole government has been applying clean and green technologies to reduce this emission. In the past 5 years, if you go back to check about the results that what China has has achieved, I'm from Beijing, the capital city. 5 years back, it was much polluted, but in the past 5 years, we take a lot of measures to control this one, and use renewable energy, and to apply cutting-edge technologies to reduce this emission. And now the air in Beijing has become clearer and clearer. You've got very much more blue skies when you go to visit Beijing. And so things has been much improved. So even though the resumption of productions will start, but I don't think that will add more pollutions to the air, because we are applying more technologies.
But will you
especially
eager to take measures, more measures?
Especially in the, I will tell you, especially in the coastal region, the factories now apply for the modern technologies like robots. They use more and more robots, put more robots in the production lines. And so that will naturally reduce the activities of human beings. And we are trying our best to have a clean and green economy, and we are doing much better in that way. Yeah.
So, नाजरीन, गुफ्तगू का सिलसिला जारी है और बहुत इंटरेस्टिंगली मजा भी आ रहा है अली भाईजान साहब से गुफ्तगू करते हुए, और बहुत अच्छी आप तक नॉलेज पहुंचाने की और इन्फॉर्मेशन पहुंचाने की जिम्मेदारी भी उठा रहे हैं। लेकिन अभी यहाँ एक वक्फा लेते हैं, वक्फे के बाद आते हैं। स्टे ट्यून्ड। वेलकम बैक। और अभी हमारी गुफ्तगू जारी है जी। ली भाईजान चाइना के कौंसल जनरल कराची में, उनसे गुफ्तगू हो रही है और बहुत ही इंटरेस्टिंग जवाबात वो दे रहे हैं। लेट्स कंटिन्यू ऑल दिस conversation and this interview. So, Excellency, tell me, in China and Pakistan, in Chinese and Pakistani perspective, the main development project is CPAC. And definitely it is a game changer, as we always say this, and this is an example, biggest example of the friendship of Pakistan and China, which is very strong and very important. So on government level in both countries, any protective plans developed or obtained to proceed the ongoing CPAC project without being affected due to this zoonotic coronavirus?
Well, you see the CPAC, under the joint efforts by both governments of China and Pakistan, this CPAC has been doing very well, and more than 20 projects has been completed, and billions of dollars have been invested, and all these projects have been brought concrete benefits to Pakistan in the field of the infrastructure, and you have better highway networks after with this implementation of this project, and and you have better infrastructures in energy sector like power plants. A few power plants is already went to operation and supply very clean energies to Pakistan, and some of those projects are still under construction, especially in Gwadar. Gwadar, there are some number of projects are going on. I may say that CPEC has been doing well, and of course this virus, as you mentioned about how what kind of effect of the virus on the CPEC projects. Frankly speaking, there are a few areas. Yes, there's some effect. Okay. Number one is that you see because now that there are a few confirmed cases in Pakistan, and even yesterday with the social media we read that more than 150 suspects are waiting for confirmed. Okay. And you see actually there was no outbreak, but there are some confirmed cases. That shows the situation here is also serious. And number one effect on the CPEC is that the workforce. You have a number of projects that are going on, and we need people. We need the workforce. Some are from China. Just 1 month before that, the whole China celebrated the Spring Festival. Some of the technicians and workers from China, they went back to China to celebrate the Spring Festival, and in order to avoid the contractions or avoid the spreading of the virus to Pakistan, we ordered these workers, these technicians, stay back in China. Okay. And after the end of this epidemic, they can come back. That is also with the joint efforts by your federal government. We have all these strong measures. And secondly, and we have all the projects employed hundreds of thousands of local laborers, local technicians. And because these people, they're communicating with the social life, the social community, and some of them could be contracted with this virus. And how to prevent them from this, prevent and control these people, of contracting this virus. So this is a huge job. And you see this is a two-way effect. The laborers, some of them cannot come to the workplace. So this might cause the delay of this project. Okay. And so that is number one. Okay. And number two is that you see, because these projects are going on and we need the equipment, and because you see some of the products are from China, and as I mentioned at the beginning that some of the production lines are stopped and suspended. So maybe some of the equipment cannot be supplied or sent to Pakistan on time. So this will also cause some delay of the implementation of this project. And the third effect could be there are some disputes be caused by this delay, and the duration of the work are extended, and the project cannot be completed on time, and the whole make it compensation. Yeah. All right. So that will actually there are some issues come out, and the effects is obvious. But I will tell you that the Chinese side, together with your government, we're trying hard to solve this problem and to maintain the continuous of this operation of the projects.
This is what actually I want to know more further.
Please.
That how do you see the efforts and the initiative of Pakistani government, which has been made these recently days, especially we have closed our Chaman border and some of the border lines for the result of the safety precautions regarding this coronavirus.
Yeah. I must say that your government, especially federal government, has been doing a great job. And you see, number one is that the federal government has been working closely with the laboring countries, especially China, And so far there is no confirmed case brought back from China. And we have a very strict checking and screening at the airport and entry points whenever that any passengers come back from China. But recently there were some confirmed cases are from other side of your border, but your government, federal government has been applying strong measures, and in collaboration with the provincial governments like Sindh and Balochistan and
Punjab.
PK and or Punjab, and all the entry points now you have the screening equipment, and the measures are very strong. But I may call upon here, my audience, that this virus, we must be on guard against this virus, because this virus is very strong and spread very quickly. And I call upon our brothers and sisters in Pakistan, please take preventive measures, like take the mask, preventive mask, and when you go out. And secondly, please avoid public gathering. If one of the citizens are contracted this virus, it could be spreading very quickly. And the person with very close contact with this suspect could be contracted with the virus, spreading in a very quick way. So I call upon the audience to avoid this public gathering and take strong preventive measures. In this way, to protect everybody, we have to start with individual. If everyone takes preventive measures, we can prevent this virus from entering into Pakistan, into our community, and we'll be safe. We'll become safe. Yeah.
It's a nice advice, undoubtedly.
Thank you.
Okay, Excellency, as a friend of Pakistan, has full confidence over China's medical facilities.
Yeah.
Therefore, Pakistani government clearly announced that we will not bring our students back. Yeah. So how Chinese government perceive Pakistan's friendship in this difficult situation?
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Actually, this is a burning issue from the very beginning. And why we in collaboration with we negotiated and talked with your federal government to not bring back the students, especially in Wuhan, because you see Wuhan is already shut down, and
it's already affected.
Any movement of the students from the epicenter could be very dangerous. They could be contracted with the virus, and that will put all the students in danger. But if they stay in the campus. On the campus, they stay in the dormitory, and this will be very safe. They will be very safe. Of course, from the very beginning, my government as a host country, and we have been treating your students, Pakistan students, as our own children, our own sisters and brothers. We have been providing them with every equipment and every assistance to make sure that their stay in the dormitory on the campus are comfortable, and even we're providing the masks, gloves, the preventive equipment, and most of the universities are provided them with halal food free of charge, and thirdly, that we are providing in case they need any treatment, and we are providing free charge of medical treatment.
That's great.
And so far, I will assure you that no one. In epicenter from Pakistan, you have 500 students have been staying in Wuhan in the epicenter, but up to now there was no single student has been contracted with this virus. They have been doing very well, and your High Commission in Beijing, Pakistan High Commission in Beijing, they sent a few teams to inspect and to see the students, and they are very happy, and even WHO are very satisfied with the government, what China side has been doing. So I think that you see the decision, as I read an article and published in the local Dawn News, that even the decision is a very difficult decision. Not bring back your students,
pressure.
because you see there's a big pressure from parents. We understand fully that the parents, because this is their children, and they always worried about their health, their situation. That's understandable, but we always treat them in a best way. in the safest way. And I say that this decision is a difficult decision, but it's a good decision. It's a wise decision, and allow that you find that every students are staying very comfortably and safely in Wuhan.
Okay.
Yeah. And another thing, you see, in Wuhan, not only the Pakistan students are staying there. Besides the Pakistan 500 Pakistan students, we have another 5,500 other students from other countries. They are still stay there in a safe way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Excellency, I would also like to ask you that you must have seen that after the removal of Article 370 and 35A from the Indian Constitution, it's almost 203 days. India has been violated the basic human rights of the citizen of Jammu and Kashmir. What is the stance of Chinese government over the horrendous brutality, cruelty with the innocent humans and souls?
You see, this time I was directly transferred from New Delhi. I stayed there 5 years as DCM and a minister, and I am very familiar with the situation what is going on there. And you see, when we are talking about this issue, and I always telling the two sides and my Pakistan brothers and sisters and Indian friends that you see, we always say that you can choose friends, but you can never choose neighbors. Neighbors has to live here together forever. So whenever that we have issues or problems, we have to come and sit down and have a serious talk and find the solutions. And this is the best way and effective way to protect the interests of both sides. So we still looking forward and call upon the relevant stakeholders to come together and find joint way to solve this problem. Yeah, and this as neighbors, you have to find ways to solve the problems. If the problem is burning, and this will affect the relations, and both sides will suffer. So I think the best way is sit down and talk and find a way out.
Okay, Excellency. Similarly, as we have talked about Maqbooza Kashmir, we had seen that recently and on the regular basis, we are seeing that India is also violating the basic rights of Muslims in India as well. After the Citizenship Act, now they are brutally killing the Muslims over there in India, and they are torturing them. And recently, when the American President Donald Trump visited India, at that time they have also made the brutal acts and brutality on Muslims of India. How do you see this, and what do you say on it as well?
Well, I think that being most two most populous democracies, Pakistan and India, that I think the people, no matter disregard what race and what class and what gender you are, and I think the basic human rights should be observed, and that this is democracy. When the people living under democracy, that you see the human rights should be protected and observed. So I think they see this is the best way to solve this issue. Yeah.
Okay. Recently, you had seen that 2 days before US Taliban deal, another big happening in the history of global politics, and especially in this region. How China specifically see this agreement after 2 decades of useless war?
You see, I used to work in Kabul for 3 years, and I witnessed the wars, the plague, Afghanistan people are suffering. And I think the signing of the agreement is a historic event. And I may say my personal assessment is like, number one, that this is a victory for the Afghanistan people. And in the past, more than 19 years, the people are suffering because of the war, civil war, and the fighting. And now eventually, they are wishing they can see that the peace is coming.
How do you see Pakistan's role in this
I will
peace
say
deal?
that
Yes.
number two is that you see Pakistan. This is also a huge victory to Pakistan. Pakistan, from the very beginning, has been suffering from this war, and even though that you contributed a lot to the peace and the stability in this region, Pakistan's people, especially armed forces, has made a huge sacrifice to bring peace and stability to this region, and especially in the past few decades, Pakistan people with a huge heart, you have been hosting millions and millions of Afghanistan refugees. This, you got this burden and you got this problem, but you take this problem, the burden as your own, and you treat Afghanistan people as your own brothers and sisters. And we international people should give huge credit to our Pakistani brothers and sisters for your huge contribution to this peace and stability. I think that this is a big victory to your people, to your armed forces, to your people, for your suffering, for your contribution, for your dedication. So you should own this. And thirdly, I think this is a victory for all the players and countries across the world, and including China. From the very beginning, we have been trying to find a way, to find a solution to solve this problem. The foreign forces should withdraw from Afghanistan, and we should find a solution that led by Afghanistan and owned by Afghanistan, and eventually we find the future is there, and now we should work together to make it a complete success.
Thank you for agreeing retardedly the efforts. Excellency, I would also like to know that according to the news from the different resources we are getting in Pakistani media, does the President of China actually visiting Pakistan in coming June and July?
Well, that Pakistan is our all-weather strategic partners, and we have been enjoying this friendship for a long time, and we always, no matter what happens, we always are together, and whenever it is a good time or it is a bad time, we are together, and the maintaining of the high-level exchange of visits, that is our tradition, and the two leaders has to be, visit each other and to exchange views, because this is under this current situation, the world situation changes very quickly. The regional situations change quickly. The two leaders should share views and be together often. So I don't know the actual plan and concrete agenda and program, but I believe that this kind of exchange, high-level exchange, is a must to further promote these bilateral relations to a new height.
Okay. In the last, I would like to give a good announcement to our people as well, and good news especially. And regarding that, I would also like to ask you the question that the good news is that we came to know that China has started working on the vaccination of coronavirus, and they're working very hard on it. So how much duration will be required to prepare this vaccination against this coronavirus?
Actually, you see, that depends. That depends on a few things. Number one, the scientists, the experts should identify the virus, because you see the form of the virus change very quickly. It's difficult for them to find this formation of this virus. And secondly, usually according to the practice, and when the new virus comes out, it will take at least 6 months or even more time to find a vaccine.
Okay.
And like SARS happened in 2003, the scientists take about 6 months to find the vaccine. I think this time this virus is much stronger than SARS, the virus of SARS, and maybe it will take a longer time. But of course, the scientists are trying hard to find some medicine which could be effective to control and to cure this virus, the epidemic. And the scientists and the experts in China, they're trying their best and working in 24 hours to beat the time to find a solution. and in collaboration with the scientists from other countries, especially from WHO.
Okay.
And so I believe that, I wish that these scientists, they will find the vaccine tomorrow. And this will bring,
Inshallah.
inshallah, they will find this vaccine, and this will, find the cure and help all the people to have a normal life.
Okay, thank you so very much for your time, Excellency Mr. Lee Bijian, and thank you for giving us.
Thank you.
Any message you want to give in the last?
Dear audience, that you see, I just arrived here in late December. I already been here for more than 2 months, and ever since my step on the soil of Karachi, I've been immersed in the friendship and working very good working environment. I recently, in the past 2 months, I traveled a lot across the city, and I found that there were so many notice to mention that Karachi is the city of cricket. Karachi is the city of happiness. Karachi is the city of light. Karachi is the city of humorous, and every good such a description is a vivid reflection about the life of Karachi.
That's great.
Karachi, I enjoy my stay here, and I'm a member of your community, and I'll try my best to work closely with the provincial government and the federal government, and especially I want to have a close relations with the media, and to bring correct information, correct, open, and transparent information to the people. And let's work together, join hands to make this very important bilateral relations even stronger, and to enhance the people-to-people contacts. Let's work together.
Yes,
thank you.
Yes, inshallah, we will definitely work together, and wish you very good luck and warm welcome once again, because as you had joined 2 months before in Karachi, as you had said. So thank you so very much, Mr. Excellency Lee Bijian sir, for giving us time. इसी के साथ जी नाज़रीन, बहुत जिस तरह से आपने देखा कि उन्होंने अच्छी बात कही, एक वो ये कि जो मुझे पसंद आई इस पूरे इंटरव्यू में, कि आपने पैनिक नहीं होना है। कोरोना वायरस के जो केसेस यहाँ भी रिपोर्ट हुए कराची में या पाकिस्तान में, उन्होंने कहा आपने अपने हाइजीन का ख्याल रखना है और सफाई का ख्याल रखें, पब्लिक प्लेस से थोड़ा सा अवॉइड करें, गैदरिंग से अभी इस वक्त, और अपना और अपने आसपास लोगों का ख्याल रखें, मास्क पहने जहां आप समझते हैं कि आपको पहन के जाना चाहिए। सो इसी के साथ जी अपनी मेजबान रिदा सैफी को दीजिए इजाजत। पाकिस्तान जिंदाबाद।